Okay, children, let's talk about Booktube. Yep. So first of all, we need to have an understanding of what is Booktube, and I'm not sure I understand it. Is it a place? Is it a state of being? Is it a club? Is it a clique? What exactly is Booktube? It seems to be made up of a bunch of people, mostly women, but not completely, and many of them younger, like college age or younger still, who like to talk about books. Ostensibly. And they do it on YouTube. And apparently they also talk on Twitter. So, I have some problems with what I've found about Booktube. I've been doing a little bit of research because, as zero of you probably know, I do book reviews, and I have been interested in seeing what's up with Booktube and, getting in on some of that action. But from what I've seen, I'm not actually sure that I'm interested. Now, these problems I'm going to bring up are not being leveled at any one particular member of Booktube, anyone who founded Booktube, any of that kind of thing. These criticisms are aimed towards Booktube as a whole blob thing that it is. Okay, so let's just start with some things that Booktube is that I have a problem with. Because I've been trying to research Booktube for a while, and this is all I find. There are a lot of book hauls, and my first thought every time I go into somebody's page and I see that it's mostly book hauls, I'm like, where do you get your money from? How are you just buying all these books, most of which will not be read, or at least not read for your Booktube? You're just walking around with stacks of books, showing off that you got money? Some of them are library hauls, but those are few and far between, and from what I've seen, they're generally frowned upon, so that's dumb. To be honest with you, I think book hauls are done because they're quick and easy videos, and booktubers like to crank out a lot of videos, and they like to do quick and easy ones. They also like to do book tags, which I will admit I actually do like to do, because at least they talk a little bit more about the books themselves versus just showing you a bunch of books, being like, you see this book? You can't have it, it's mine. Same thing with the to be reads. They do a lot of those, again, a quick and easy video. It's to be read, I'm going to read this. Whether those things get reviewed is pretty spotty. The things that they claim that they're going to read, whether they get read, whether they get reviewed, probably not going to happen, but it's a quick and easy video that can get out there. They do a lot for the views. They're trying to crank out so many videos so that they can keep views coming in so that they can keep their channel popular, which is fine. I don't care about your book haul. I don't care about your to be read. I'm here to talk about books. The actual books. Not some amorphous future book that may or may not happen. On Booktube, they tend to only review, and this is a problem that I have, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, books that they like. It's like they're afraid to review books they didn't like. What happens if you say something bad about a book? Do you explode? I don't know. I don't know what happens. They all communicate on Twitter, apparently. I have no interest in doing that. I don't have a Twitter, and I don't want a Twitter, and I don't care to do that. So, yeah. I'm just gonna stay out of that whole thing. That's the clickiest thing to me, is like, you have to be part of this like group on Twitter, and I'll talk to all these people. And I do not do people well. I do book. Book good. People. They also hate spoilers. They hate spoilers. What happens if you accidentally spoil a book? Does your arm get chopped off? What happens? Do they lobotomize you? Like, seriously, why do you hate spoilers so much? I saw somebody upset because a booktuber had said that the ending of a book made them sad, and then that person was upset because they're like, well, now I know it's a sad book, and that's a spoiler. And I'm like, what are you allowed to tell people then? Just allowed to hold up and be like, this is a book, and that's it? That's all you can do? Even saying you liked it, I guess, could be a spoiler, depending on if the people know what other kinds of books you like. Like, what are you even allowed to say? Can't even say that it made you sad at the end. What if it doesn't make the next reader sad? Emotions are subjective and shit. This makes no sense. Just fear of spoilers. Pathological fear of spoilers. Everything on Booktube kind of looks the same. All the books that they review are mostly the same. They're always trying to review the next, they're mostly just trying to book haul the next big popular books, or open boxes with the next big popular books, or whatever, and be like, look, I have the next big popular book, and I might do a review on it, maybe. And all of the people kind of look the same. No offense, but they all kind of, I mean, I do too. So I have the backdrop with the books, you know, the bookcase or whatever. Today I've got a fireplace, but I usually have books. And, you know, they're all just kind of pretty, and, I'm sorry, a little bland. I'm probably bland too. I mean, look at me. And not all of them are. Again, this is not an attack on any one specific booktuber. This is Booktube as the amorphous blob. Okay? Okay. If you are Booktube the amorphous blob, you couldn't feel insulted though. Probably should, actually. If you personify all of Booktube, you and me should have a talk. Okay, so my biggest problem with Booktube is that I really was hoping to go and find other book reviews that are like proper reviews. Like when Nostalgia Critic, for example, reviews a movie, he talks about stuff in the movie. He spoils parts of the movie so that he can talk to you about themes, ideas, characters, stuff in the movie. And that's what I want to do with books. I don't want to tell you whether or not you should read the books. There are millions of people already doing that. You can decide whether you read the books. I'm going with the assumption that you either have read the book or don't care about spoilers and want to actually talk about the book. And I want to see more of that, and nobody's doing it because we're so afraid of spoilers. And people at Booktube, it seems like Booktube the blob, are afraid of saying anything negative about books. And I'm just here to say that being a critic does not mean that you hate the thing you're being critical of. Being critical doesn't mean hateful. It means looking at something and seeing the flaws and the good parts in it. I review books that I love. I loved Fangirl, for example. It's a book that I loved. But I still mention the parts that I didn't like. That's what being a critic is. Good and bad. And Booktube seems to only be the good. If bad is mentioned, it's always apologized for, as if like books are somehow this deity that you don't want to piss off. Oh no, if I say something bad about that book, lightning will strike me. Or maybe I'll be lit on fire. I don't know. I've said lots of bad things about books, but nobody's noticed, so. So Booktube, if you're watching, what the heck is up with that? What the heck is up with you? And if there are any, like, book critics out there, and I'm not talking about critics like, you know, you think, oh, the book critics in the magazines, oh, they're such snobs. I'm just talking about folks like me who want to talk about the good and the bad points of books, want to talk about in-depth stuff about books. Just wave your hands in the air. I will literally come and watch your stuff right now. Like, just comment that you exist, and I will come find you. And I won't even kill you. But in the meantime, I guess I'm gonna keep having to try to break into Booktube. That's how you do it, right? Yeah, that's probably how you do it. See you guys later.